It's your boy Young Love, I give him that time. Pancho leg stand, Panchi America, Panji Dwal, Pancho leg stand, Panchi America, Panji Dwal, Ban walk on the lake, Kankara water no watching, Oga leg, gear, power, leg, Panda with Yay, Panchi America, Panya Dwal, Chingatonga Pandon, could you ever buy a check out? Papu Panda Jiro, what they be Dwal venting. Stand Panchi America, Panji Dwal, Pancha leg stand Panchi America, Panji Dwal, walk on the lake, Kankara water watching, Oga leg, gear, power, leg, Panda with Yay, Panchi America, Panya Dwal, Chingatonga Pandon, could you ever buy a check out? Paku Panda Jiro, what they be Dwal venting.
Thank you so much, our viewers, wherever you are tuning in, Pakistan Media Beyond Boundaries. And in the studio with me today is Honorable Akol Paul Kordit. Honorable will speak to us in regard to the SPLM restructuring and the claim of the SPLM-IO and the real SPLM. And he will also touch bases in regard to the elections of our Republic, South Sudan. And on that note, permit me to introduce to you who is Akol Paul Kordit. Honorable Akol Paul is the founding chairman of the SPLM Youth League, 1998 till 2016. A member of SPLM Interim National Council 2005 to 2008. A member of SPLM Political Bureau and National Liberation Council since 2008, that is 2008. And on the same note, is a member of National Legislative Assembly since 2011. Is the Deputy Minister, the former Deputy Minister of Information, Communication Technology, 2016-2018, and is currently First Deputy Secretary General for Political Affairs, Mobilizations and Organization, SPLM 2022. And is also academics. In that regard, he has bachelor degree in electrical electronic engineering, University of Nairobi, 2007. And on the same note, he has Masters of Arts in Transformational Leadership and Change, University of Greenville, 2014. PhD candidate, University of Juba, Institute of Peace, Development and Security Studies, 2018-2022. He is also a visiting researcher at Marx School of Public and International Affairs, City University of New York, 2021 and 2022. Dear fellows and our viewers, permit me to welcome Honorable Akol Paul Kordit once again, and I'm requesting you one thing. I'm requesting you to share this live show on your Facebook platform so that other South Sudanese will be in a position to hear from him the vision, the mission of the SPLM, as his biography can inform you rightly that he is the right person to give us the information when it comes to the issues of SPLM as a ruling party and as the mother party of our republic, South Sudan. Honorable Akol Paul, you are highly welcome to give us your opening remark before we dive into our conversation. Thank you, Honorable.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Marco. Thank you for hosting me and having me in your studio, Lagos State Media. I want to thank all the viewers. So I'm glad to be with you here. You requested me to talk about the SPLM, the vision of the party, and the recent restructuring of the party. I'll be glad to share with you as soon as you raise the question that you want me to answer or the topic you would like me to be specific on. So thank you very much for hosting me, and I'm glad to be here.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Honorable Akol, for that opening remark. To our viewers, bear with us in case of any internet breakdown or shortcomings. Then you should know that in our country we still have challenges, not only in South Sudan,
Are you hearing
also
me?
in most of African countries, we still have challenges with the internet connectivity. But with this period, we will try so much to make sure we squeeze our conversation within short period of time possible. Yeah, thank you, Honorable. Actually, we have heard about the restructuring of the SPLM political party, all the way from the top leadership of SPLM Political Bureau and Liberation Council. We really need you to let us know, while you were actually restructuring the SPLM, what were the criterions and what prompted you to restructure SPLM at this critical time in our country? Unmute yourself, Honorable. Yeah, unmute yourself. There is a small mic on your left-hand side. You click that at least to open so that we can hear you. Yes. Yes. You have unmuted yourself. Now you can talk. It's okay. Yeah, sorry, Honorable. We cannot hear you. Do you hear me? Yeah, we cannot hear you. If you have earphone around you, I think you can use them to test whether it will work. Yeah, we cannot hear you. or maybe increase the volume of your phone, or check your phone if there is any issue with the voice. To our viewers, kindly bear with us. Internet is giving us a hard time. Do you hear me, Honorable?
I think let him log out.
Yeah, let him drop and maybe he will come back again. Might have been frozen. Yeah, sorry, our viewers. Just let's try to be patient. South Sudan Internet is always giving us hard time, but let's try. He will come back. Then we will see whether the network will still allow us to carry on with the conversation. And some of you might have watched last week or 2 weeks ago the interview Lagos State Media did with the acting spokesperson in the office of First Vice President, and he was basically articulating the position of SPLM-IO. And many of you are aware of their position. And he was basically saying nobody owns SPLM to dismiss anyone. And the SPLM-IO is still believed to be part of the SPLM. And that's why we want to hear from the SPLM members what criterions did they use to dismiss First Vice President from the SPLM and the former Secretary General, General Paganamo, at least to convince the public and also to let us know whether they consider the Arusha Declaration or Arusha reunification of the SPLM 2017, which was signed in Entebbe, Kampala, Uganda, or not.
Okay, I will play music a little bit while we're waiting for.
Yes, you can do that for us.
Okay, Honorable, can you hear us now?
I hear you very well. Do you hear me?
Yes, good. Okay.
Perfect.
Very good. So
yeah, continue with the song before you continue with the answering question, because the song is for the SPLM too.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Abraham Adit, for giving us that good song from our legend. Yeah, Honorable, welcome back, and we are sorry for that inconvenience. Yeah, actually, the question was about restructuring of the SPLM. What were the criterions did you lay down in order to arrive to that decisions of restructuring the top leadership of SPLM as a ruling party at this critical time? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I hope you hear me this time.
Yes, you are so clear now.
Excellent, excellent. Well, as I said earlier, SPLM as a political organization and political party, it has to readjust itself from time to time to match the expectation and meet the expectation of the people. The first phase of the SPLM, all of us know it. I don't want to talk much about it. That was the era of the liberation from 1983 to 2005. And from 2005 to 2011, that was the second phase of the interim period. But after the independence, people of South Sudan needs and aspiration change, of course, just like other people of the world. And a political party has to adjust itself, has to restructure itself to be conversant, to be compatible with the people's need. So this is the driving force behind the restructuring, the reorganization of political parties worldwide, not for SPLM alone. And that's why parties go routinely for convention to review their manifestos, their political programs, so that they are in line with the people's need and aspirations. So on this note, using party basic documents, of course, we've got the constitution, the manifesto, code of conduct of the party, and internal rules and regulations. These are the documents that govern the functioning and the operation of the Sudan People Liberation Movement. So using this document, we saw it was necessary after the completion of the process of reunification. We all know that the party was split up in December 2013 as a result of internal crisis within the party, the power struggle that we went through, all of us, in 2013. After we finished the process of reunification, and though not everyone is on board, and that's normal in a agreement, you never get all the people on board. After that process, it was necessary to restructure the party and to have its leadership completed, awaiting the convening of the third SPLM National Convention. So now we have a fully pledged party leadership. The chairman is Comrade Salva Kiir Mayadi. The first deputy chairman is Comrade Daniel Awanakut. And you have Comrade Kual Manyang. Sorry, first deputy chairman is Comrade James Wanega, pardon me. And the second deputy chair is Comrade Daniel Awad, and then followed by Comrade Kual Manyang Juk. These are the three deputy chair of the party. And then you've got the Secretary General, Comrade Peter Lam, myself, the first Deputy Secretary General, and then Comrade Tulio, the Deputy Secretary General for Admin and Finance. This is the leadership of the party, the top leadership of the party, the seven, which is called the Working Committee in the Constitution. Our task now will be to lead the party to the conduct of the third National Convention, where we'll again have to re-elect the leadership. So this restructuring is a normal routine, a normal procedure. Every political party does it to adjust itself, to increase efficiency, to consolidate its structure so that it can function well.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable, for that. respond. And basically, the restructuring of the SPLM has given hope to many South Sudanese. And they think like at least now we are moving toward the democratic path. Because once the SPLM reorganized its house, it seems at least they will accept and to move forward. And remember, the SPLM are the mother party of that country, and as the party that have liberated the whole nation until we have our independence now. And on the same note, Honorable, there are members of SPLM who were uncomfortable with the restructuring of the SPLM. During restructuring of the SPLM, especially the political bureau, there were two main key players of the SPLM since 1983. And these two leaders were removed by the SPLM leadership. The SPLM-IO chairperson, the first vice president, Dr. Riek Machar, was dismissed or terminated its membership from being SPLM member. And also the chairperson of real SPLM and the former Secretary General of the SPLM, General Pagana Mom, was also victims of that restructuring. And citizens and many of you in the leadership of SPLM have heard about the response and the reaction toward the decision of the SPLM. The SPLM-IO chairperson said nobody owned the SPLM. The same thing to the real SPLM chairperson or the chairman, General Pagana Mom. They said all of them are still members of the SPLM. And during the crisis, they broke away from the SPLM and they remain other factions of the SPLM. It was 2 weeks ago we hosted here the member, the acting speaker in the office of first vice president, other SPLM-IO member. And he stated very clearly that no any faction of the SPLM can dismiss anyone and nobody owns SPLM. What is your response to these members? Thank you.
You see, I very much appreciate this question. There are two things that need to be distinguished here. There's a distinction between the SPLM during war, which was fighting, and the SPLM presently. These two former senior comrades, former, underline word former, senior members of the SPLM, the former deputy chairman, Comrade Riek, Dr. Riek, and General Pagana Mom, all participated in the liberation struggle, just like other comrades, and they did their part. And when 2013 differences came, which was a power struggle within the leadership, it's normal. SPLM is not the first liberation movement to break up. It has happened in so many political organizations. What is unfortunate with our breakup is the violent breakup that led to the loss of lives and destruction of property. This is very unfortunate in the SPLM split. It happened in 91, it happened again in 2013, that our people died. This is regrettable and is unacceptable. Having said that, it's healthy for the party to break up and for people to choose different paths. Riek Machar has formed his organization called SPLM-IO. That's his organization, SPLM position. Pagana Mom also formed his organization called Real SPLM. They have got a historical attachment as far as their contribution to the movement is concerned. But legally speaking, after the independence, SPLM has been registered as a political party. It is registered with the political parties council in South Sudan, according to the laws of South Sudan, as a political party. During the registration, the party chairman name is there. The party headquarters address is there. The leading members of the party names are there. And therefore, legally speaking, they are not members of the SPLM. They are members of their own organizations. And there were attempts, of course, I'm among the people who spearheaded the process of reunification of the party, knowing that there's a strength in our unity. I work hard through Arusha, when delegated by the chairman of the rest of my comrades, to unify the party. But these two gentlemen feel really that they can't continue with us in the SPLM, and this is their democratic rights. They form their organizations. The issue of nobody owns the SPLM is not about ownership. It's not about ownership. It's about membership. Dr. Riek Machar knows the SPLM constitution because he was the first deputy chairman elected in the convention in 2008. And one of the criteria for loss of membership is when you form your own political organization or you rebel or take arms against the state. Then loss of membership become automatic. So he terminated his own membership. We did not dismiss him. He dismissed himself. He met the qualification for the loss of membership according to the SPLM constitution, which he was parted with. The same applies to Gerald Pagana Mom. He formed his organization, and we have reached out to him several times to come back to his position as Secretary General of the SPLM. He really believes that it's not worth for him again to continue the SG of the SPLM, and this is his democratic right, and he's free to form his party as he did form his real SPLM. So these two gentlemen are no longer part of the SPLM. As I speak to you, they have their own political entities, political organizations, and I think it's healthy even that they present their political agenda to the country. And South Sudanese will decide who has the best agenda for the country. Regarding what you talk about in your opening remarks, the hopes of the people that the party has been restructured and the hope is back, they are happy. Yes, there are a lot of expectations for people. And to be honest with you, we have a lot of work to do. We have not been doing well as a party of late because of the differences we went into, the crisis of 2013, the civil war that we imposed by this crisis on the population and the country. But it is time now for us in the party to begin to play our role effectively, to see into it that we oversee the function of the government. We see into it that the promises of the liberation struggle are met, that people are served, that services are delivered to the people, and the country is built to be a good country to the people of South Sudan. The differences that are brought by 2013, the tribal divide, the ethnic divide, corruption, these things we are going to meet them head on. This is our task now as a party leadership. Before we go for election, we must see into it something good is happening in this country. Those who have been doing things with impunity are held accountable. We will not allow impunity. There will be accountability. People in public offices will be held accountable according to their action. And there has to be judgment. If you have done well, you will be promoted and appreciated. You have done badly, you must be held accountable to your wrongdoings, to your misconduct according to the law. So that the people of South Sudan who have been yearning for economic independence enjoy the fruits of their independence, because it's not enough to be independent on the 9th of July politically, but yet you don't have good schools, you don't have food on the table, your salary does not feed you to the end of the month, you don't have good hospitals, you don't have good roads. We are going to focus on this. And by focusing on this, we'll be able at least to have a strong people, a strong civil society, a strong civil population that can then rise up to the next level of development for building a state institution, state infrastructure, building our military, our highways, roads, bridges. This will come next. But now we want to focus, honestly speaking, on the welfare of our people, to end this violence in the country so that no South Sudanese life is threatened from a fellow South Sudanese, to create a necessary environment where South Sudanese can save themselves, work for yourself, and nobody threatens you at gunpoint. This is going to be our task, and it's an immediate task, and we're going to undertake it as soon as we begin the work early this coming year.
Thank you so much, Honorable, for that. But Honorable, during Liberation Council restructuring of the SPLM, while you were reading out the minutes of your resolution, you mentioned that anybody that is still using the name SPLM, that person should cease from using the name SPLM. Otherwise, we can take that individual to court. And many citizens believe that statement triggered the protests by other SPLM factions, which are now political parties, like real SPLM and SPLM-IO. And SPLM-IO responded quickly that even if it means we go to court, then we will go to court, that nobody own the SPLM. Kindly, can you clarify that statement? Thank you.
Yes, as I told you, before the crisis of 2013, this is a registered political, it has been a registered political party. It has continued to be a registered political party. When you leave an organization, you go and establish a new one. It's normal. This is not the first time. But we will not, of course, by law, it's not acceptable to have got 4 or 5 SPLM in the same country. It's impossible. So we've got one SPLM registered according to the laws of South Sudan, and that's the SPLM led by Comrade Salva Kiir, the chair of the party, with some of us in the same party, with the different structures in the country, with the constitution manifesto. Anyone else is free to form his or her own party and give it a name. But should these people really feel that they can't survive without name SPLM? Because it's okay. Probably some people use it as a trademark. Okay, fine. That's okay. Dissolve your organization. Come back to the SPLM. And once you meet the qualification for membership, you will be admitted as an individual member of the party. And because SPLM, after all, it's a political organization, a political party that is yearning for more members. The door is not closed for membership. Even kids that have not been born will be happy to recruit them to the SPLM. Those who are in primary school and secondary school, we are recruiting them. So the process of recruitment into the Sudan People Liberation Movement is an open and ongoing process, just like any other party, because if you don't recruit new members to the party, you will definitely diminish and you get outdated. So new members are welcome to the SPLM, but there's no room for more than SPLM in the same country. It has not happened anywhere in the world. South Sudan is not a land for political experiments. So it will not happen here also. Rule of law has to be observed, and that's it. That's it. So I am sure before we go for election in this country, before registration of the parties begins, the SPLM, the current SPLM-IO will have its name. It will register itself, because they are our partners, by the way, in the government, this coalition government. So they'll definitely rename themselves as a criteria for registration of their party. Or else they will not be allowed even to have a party to operate and contest. So they have to have a platform where they advocate their politics. For real SPLM, led by Joral Pagan, is not here in the country, of course. And once he comes, he's a politician. He will know what to do to register his party and to have his party registered and functioning. What is not accepted here are violent politics. They don't serve our people. Our people lose lives. We lose property. Town get destroyed. But any peaceful approach to our politics, multipartism, is what the party fought for, the SPLM fought for many years. Because Sudan was one party state, was an Arab Islamic state, and the NIF returned to be NCP, want to build a one party state, and we all rejected to that. So there's no way also we in Juba here can continue to advocate for South Sudan to be a one party state. SPLM is not for that. We are for multipartism. Form your party, give it a name, just like SOA is a coalition of parties, OPP are many political parties, and we are coexisting. So our former colleagues in the SPLM, it is in their best interest to have their own identity and come up clearly with the clear political programs, and let people of South Sudan decide which party is best to run this country through democratic elections.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable, for that. Actually, many South Sudanese were wondering, because since the revitalized government was formed, many South Sudanese have seen the SPLM-IO launching and opening its secretariats in Lake State, in Upper Nile, especially Jonglei State, and also in Central Equatoria, that is in Juba, and also in Western Equatoria, Yambio. And they have everything. They have their logo, they have their color, and they have their structure, and they even have their own constitution. But what confuses many citizens is why they're still saying that they are members of the SPLM, and they seem to be like they have their own political party. But before you came up with the new restructuring of the SPLM, did you consider the Arusha agreement on the SPLM reunification implementation matrix, which you mentioned before, and it was signed that time in Entebbe, Uganda, on December 2017? And the purpose of Arusha reunification of the SPLM was to bring the whole SPLM faction together under one umbrella, because our neighboring state realized that the crisis of South Sudan emerged from within the SPLM as a political party or as a ruling party. Until the SPLM come together, that is where South Sudan will be in peace. What happened to the Arusha agreement on the SPLM reunification? Thank you, Honorable.
We have implemented the Arusha reunification agreement. The first thing we did, as a matter of procedure, we have incorporated Arusha agreement itself into the SPLM constitution. It became the basis of the constitution now. The constitution we have now is actually based on Arusha reunification agreement. And this process of incorporating the agreement into the constitution was done by a tripartite committee that has got members of the SPLM-IO, members of the SPLM-FDs, and we, the SPLM. The three tripartite committee, which is representative of the three bodies, sat down, drafted a constitution based on Arusha agreement, which was a requirement of the agreement itself. And that constitution has been used to reunify the party. But what happened is that the SPLM-IO itself got broke up into many other factions. There was a faction led by Riek Machar and a faction led by Gerald Taban. And Riek went away with his faction. But Gerald Taban remained faithful to Arusha agreement and committed to it, and is part of our leadership now. So I would like to tell you that democracy also flourished within the SPLM-IO, where some chose to opt out of Arusha agreement. Riek Machar opted out of Arusha agreement and continued his party. That's why he's got blue t-shirt, has his own political bureau, his own SG, and his own structures. That's self-evident that Riek is no longer part of Arusha agreement. The same to the SPLM-FDs. They also broke up. Democracy has flourished there also. And Gerald Pagan went his way. And those of Comrade Dengalor, Madame Rebecca, Comrade Kosti Maniba, are with us in the SPLM. They are members of the political bureau on Arusha agreement basis. So Arusha has been implemented, for your information, successfully. And so you have really to take note of this democracy, that some choose not to be part of Arusha and you cannot force them. There's no mechanism within the agreement that says that you must be part of it. So that's what happened exactly. Gerald Pagan and Gerald Riek opted out of Arusha agreement, and they have their own organization that they are continuing with. But other members of the former SPLM-IO and FDs are with us now in Juba, and they are part of the SPLM on the basis of Arusha reunification agreement. So this agreement has been observed and implemented in letter and spirit. So there's no question at all that Arusha agreement has been violated. If somebody talks about that, then that's a different thing altogether. It has not been violated. It's the base of our constitution as I speak to you.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable. When you look at the restructuring of the new SPLM Political Bureau and Liberation Council, alongside the Arusha agreement, if you look at the organizational issues, it stated that agreed that the National Secretariat shall be restructured and reorganized in order to streamline its offices and functions to ensure the efficiency and effectiveness. We don't really know. The citizens confused. Exactly according to your response, you are telling us that Dr. Riek refused to comply with the Arusha SPLM reunification and also Gerald Paganamom, or what exactly were you trying to let public know? Thank you.
They opted out of the agreement. They are out of the agreement. They opted out of the agreement completely, and they formed their parties. Their colleagues who wanted Arusha are with us now. That's why Taban is on this side and Ezekiel Lul from the SPLM-IO. They were with Riek in the IO, but now they are part of the SPLM. That's Arusha agreement that brought them to the SPLM. The same, you have got Comrade Pagana Moom, you have got Comrade Dengalor, you have got Comrade Kostim and even Madame Rebecca. They are part of the SPLM leadership as they speak to you. And they are here in Juba with us, part of the movement on Arusha reunification process. But it's Gerald Pagan and Gerald Riek who have opted out of Arusha agreement. So if at all, if you want to talk of violation, they violated it and they left it. And they formed their own parties, which is normal. That's democracy. That should not be a problem also. It's normal. But also they even went and disintegrated further. Now you have got Kit Gwang. He's a new faction of the SPLM-IO. And even Kit Gwang went and split up again. It's like, actually, I don't know what it is. It's degenerating into SPLM now and SPLM-IO of Orange. It's the same IO that's continuing to disintegrate. So you can imagine how many Arushas you will have to bring back all the splinter groups. It's not that easy. So at this juncture, the gate of reunification have closed, but the gate of new membership remains open. I got to be clear here. The gate of sorry for some interruption. So the gate of reunification have closed, but the gate of new membership is open. I want to make this quite clear that those who want to join the SPLM as new members are welcome. But the Arusha reunification process has been concluded, and now we're preparing for the third convention. So it will be good for those who want to be members of the SPLM to join on individual basis before the conduct of the third convention.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable, for that. We will go back before we allowed questions from our viewers. You were saying anybody.
It's getting dark in my world.
Yes, I know. We will try to wrap it up quickly. Yeah, you were saying anybody that is carrying the name SPLM, legally it will not be possible. Once the political party registration bill is reviewed by the parliament and political parties are invited to register themselves, it will not be acceptable for the SPLM-IO and SPLM to be functional within the state. And you know, Honorable, the SPLM is a brand, as you put it earlier. SPLM name is a brand, and anybody who was the member of SPLM at a certain period of time would always love to carry the name SPLM with him or with her. So don't you think that one will bring confusion again in the country if the registration comes and they will be told you have to come with the different names? What will you do as the leadership of the country or the ruling party? Thank you. We are not hearing you, Honorable. I think we lost. Yes, unmute yourself.
Okay, let him network. I think he lost a network connection a little bit. That's why he lost a voice. Let him log out and log back on.
Yeah, Honorable, if you can hear us, you can log out and then you come in once again, and we'll wrap it up within less than 10 minutes. Because we are not hearing you now. Yeah, Abramadit, you can play for us music, and also to our viewers, if you have your question, kindly put it down under comment section. And if you have question in Clubhouse, make sure let your question be brief and short, because on his wall is getting dark and the internet is keeping interrupting us.
Yeah.
And if there are more questions, then we'll still arrange for another interview, maybe in the near future or the beginning of New Year. Thank you.
Yes, I have three gentlemen here in Clubhouse, Ustaz Atilio, Uncle Bang, and Professor Martin Benjamin. So they having a question to ask. So let us wait until he come back, and then we give them a chance to ask their question. But if it is network the issue, we can do part 2 tomorrow because it's getting late, getting dark over there.
قلبي مبروك أسفلي أسفلم يا بهيبكم يا بريدكم يا حررتو من ظلمة لو سألتك أنت مريض حقيقة أسفلي يا ومكتاب كتابي في السودان يا بهيبكم يا بريدكم يا حررتو من ظلمة لو سألتك أنت مريض حقيقة يا ولد زي قمر أميان باسمك وأطرش بيشوف السلام معروف زي شمس يا ولد زي قمر أميان باسمك وأطرش بيشوف شابه بكون شابه بكون شاب حررتوك من ظلمة لو سألتك أنت مارس حقيقة ما مشين في السودان بعيدام في السود للفقراء شابه بكون شاب بريدكم شاب حررتو من ظلمة لو سألتك انت مارس حقيقة نو نو شكر لكم يا شعب السوداني ألفي مبروك أسفلي أسفلم شعب هبكم شعب بريدكم شعب حررتو من ظلمة لو سألتك أنت مريض حقيقة أسفلي يا ومكتاب تعتمي في السودان شعب هبكم شعب.
Okay. I think we should, because it's getting dark there, we need to schedule another interview section part 2 tomorrow morning. And I think that would be a good chance because right now it's dark over there, it's night. And we need him to be in a good position so that because there's a lot of people who want to ask him many questions. So I think we can end this program for now, and then we can bring him back tomorrow morning when it is a daytime. What do you think?
Yeah, thank you, Abraham. Actually, I'm in agreement with your suggestion. It seems it's getting late in South Sudan, and on the same note, we also have internet issue. It could possibly be like his bundles might have been out or done. We will reschedule another part 2 interview with him. And we are aware to our viewers, especially on Facebook and on Clubhouse. We are aware many of you have many questions to ask the leadership of SPLM, basically on the restructuring of the top leadership of the ruling party, and how confident is SPLM now that we are moving toward the election. There are many questions that people need to ask, but unfortunately, internet interrupted us and also the time. We apologize for that inconvenience to you, our viewers, and hopefully we will reschedule another interview, and maybe we'll try to avoid such shortcomings in next interview. We don't know when will it be. It will depend with his time, and we will inform him at least to have that interview in his office. That will be good during daytime in South Sudan, maybe afternoon, which will be morning hours here in North America, and also late hours in Australia. Yeah, that's what we can say. And thank you so much for tuning in. And to those who have already posted their questions on comment section and on Clubhouse, thank you so much. Sometimes we need to keep talking. We need to talk to our leadership in the country for us to know exactly and distinguish between the lie and the truth and draw the line where necessary. Thank you so much. And Abraham Adid, I think we can end the show, and we look forward for the second phase of our interview. Thank you.
Yeah, before we end the show, let me hear these three gentlemen here. Ustaz Atilio and Terbang, Professor Matot. I think you guys reserve your question for now for tomorrow's show. But if you have something to say, I will give each of you 1 minute, and then I close down.
Yeah, you can give them time to give their comments.
Yeah, Ustaz Atilio, if you can hear my voice, go ahead.
Yes, thank you so much, Ustaz Madit, and truly Africa, job well done. I think the questionnaire covered most part of what actually I was going to ask Honorable Akol Kordit. But yes, I'm okay with that. Let's reschedule the interview, and then tomorrow I will come back and ask my question. My question is very simple, from the legal standpoint regarding the faction within the SPLM. But apart from that, thank you so much for bringing Akol Kordit. This is long overdue, and then I would like to thank him as well, for revealing himself to come to social media, because the diaspora is quite big, and they are quite concerned regarding the way SPLM is heading to. Otherwise, thank you so much for the professional you guys displayed today with this interview, and I'll stop here. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you, Ustaz Atilio. I'm going to turn back 1 minute.
I thank you, Uncle Madit. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you to all of you. Thank you to Mujahideen, Bitana. Taban Belen, Smith and Munu, but the hijacket. Must be not about having internet is not allow us to listening to what you need to join with Akol Paul. You have a lot of things, but I just got a group of brother Madit. I don't put the name in our man. I'm going to go into. So put the collection about that. كان بنتمنى على اساس كان تدونا اشاره عشان نقدر نعطيكم ريكوجنايز كويس لانه حاجه دي فيري امبورتنت بالنسبه لل SPLM وبيبول اوف ذا SPLM including South Sudanese people عشان الناس يعرفوا في شنو ماشي exactly كده with SPLM particularly نحن قاعدين diaspora particularly the United States of America اللي هو North America in general كنت داير انه Comrade Rationale, the site right now in the SPLM Party, National Secretariat, United States, or North America in general. You couldn't get the discussion there. Challenge members at SPLM, how not allow senior people exactly clear the answer to SPLM. The full Machakal Mojuda with my job, Machakal Alkanja within 2013, including محاولات الكثير انه الناس عاوز يعملوا ريكوجنايز SPLM شكل تعلق SPLM الحاجه بسيط بس انا بتمنى انه الشغل الجاي يجيبوا كاميرا Rationale including women league يكونوا قاعدين شباب ليج يكونوا قاعدين وبعد ذلك كمان بس نجي نسمع لهم are in the church right now, like Deputy Chair, Comrade Akol Paul Kordit. It's a good. You General, Secretary General of the SPLM, but it's not a big deal because the deputy is coming up. But we need to recognize from now to tomorrow when we come to next discussion. They are the better يعني حاجه very important. اما حاجات ثانيه بنعرف بالميديا طبعا انا اتكلم يكون دول بتاعنا معلينا برانا كان ميديا هنا دي حاجه بتفيد كله بس وشكرا للفرصه هذه شكرا لكم انا ما عندي حاجه كثير اقولها. Thank you.
Thank you, Uncle Terbang. Your suggestion has been well taken. We will talk about it. Thank you. Professor Matot.
Yeah, thank you very much, Madit. Majuk, Honorable Akol Paul, Tilo, Uncle Terbang, and the viewers down there. I would say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you and all your family. I would say to Honorable Paul,
Akol Paul Kordit.
I would say, yeah, Akol Paul, yeah. I would say Merry Christmas to the SPLM Party and the members around the world. And it is very good for you. I really appreciate it. You, Madid, and Majuk, you are doing a good job because our people in Western world are confused. We don't receive a right information. We are living confusion environment. Our foreign policy is really very bad, and we don't get the right information within the SPLM Party. Even though they are factions or they remain the government, we call them the SPLM. They are the one who destroy the country. They are the one who fighting themselves, and they are one who kill themselves and they kill civilians. Here we are confused, and I really appreciate it, Akol Paul, to accept to come to inform us what is going on exactly inside South Sudan. And you are doing a good job. Thank you. Next time, I will be around, and I have common consent, need to be asked. You see, I just work voluntarily in Foreign Affairs Office, and I've been asked by the ministers, what is the problem of South Sudan government? Why you don't have an embassy here in Australia? Well, South Sudanese, we have good number. Statistic, we are very good, like more than 30,000 population. We don't have representative here. This is my common concern. And then I would like to ask the leadership of the SPLM. So from this the right person to be asked why we don't have relationship, why we don't have an embassy in Australia, while we have more than 35,000 population. So we don't have good foreign policy with the Australian government. Thank you very much. You are doing a good job as the Lagos State media, and I really appreciate it. And again, Merry Christmas to you and your family, and Happy New Year in advance. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Benjamin Matot.
Thank you, Benjamin Matot, for wonderful input. Merry Christmas to you and your family, and Happy New Year. Yeah, you put it very well put. We will be reaching out, Benjamin, for SPLM leadership, and they will come here in the Lagos State media, and they will give you guys a briefing and all the information that you guys want. So we will be reaching out here. So thank you so much. I will yield microphone back to my colleague Majung Makur to comment, and then we will end the show. Majung,
Thank you so much, Abraham Adit. First of all, our viewers and also on Clubhouse, permits me to give vote of thanks to all of you. Especially you viewers are the one that always make Facebook live show lively and active. If it is not because of you, then there is no meaning to the show that we always do here on Lagos State Media. And to our members on Clubhouse, Banya Tilo, Nasib, thank you so much. Uncle Terbang, I really appreciate your comments and your appreciation. And to my senior brother, Benjamin Degmatot, thank you so much. Your concern is a genuine concern that worried every South Sudanese. that why don't we have representative or embassy in Australia? And there are numerous number of South Sudanese in Australia. If some years to come now, South Sudanese can even constitute 500,000 in Australia. And that thing has disadvantaged many South Sudanese. So to process your visa from another country when you are leaving to South Sudan or going to South Sudan is a big hectic and is complicated. So some of us also need more information from Juba government and from the SPLM ruling party. What is the issue? And there must be issue to why we don't have representative in Australia. But citizens also need to know that problems. Thank you so much, and may God bless each one and every one of you, rather. And to Honorable Akol Paul Kordit, I don't know which word should I use to appreciate you for accepting our invitation to come and inform South Sudanese citizens in diaspora and even some South Sudanese at home. Because South Sudanese nowadays lack information. And it is your responsibility as a leadership of the country to provide relevant information to them, knowing that the disinformation and miscommunication is dominating social media nowadays. So it's very important for the leadership of the country always to come to the citizens on platforms such as this to talk to them and inform them. And drawing the line between the lies and the truth is upon the citizen to know which one is the true between the two. And we are really happy for you accepting our invitation to come and talk to South Sudanese. Thank you so much, and we will continue looking forward to host you more as South Sudan is trying to transit from transitional leadership to democratic leadership, rather. Up to this juncture, I appreciate each and every South Sudanese wherever you are, and we always pray to God to give us hope. There are South Sudanese who are suffering now in Upper Nile region, in Barkazar region, in Equatorial region. But through hope, we will still enjoy the fruits of having independent nation as we did for more than 21 years, hoping that we will have our nation. And rightfully, we had our nation as independent state and as independent citizen and as a first-class citizens of our country. Thank you so much. May God bless each and every one of you, and Happy New Year in advance. May God bless South Sudan, and may God bless Africa. Thank you.
It's your boy Young Love, I give him that time. Pancho leg stay the Panchi America, Panji Dwal, Pancho leg stay the Panchi America, Panji Dwal, Ban walk on the lake, Kankara water no watching, Oga level leg, gear, pow, leg, Panda with Yay, Panchi America, Panya Dwalabano, Chingatonga Pandon, could you buy a check out, Papu Panda Jiro, what they are be Dwalaventing. Stand up Panchi America, Panji Dwal, Banapan Pantaleg stand up Panchi America, Panji Dwal, Banapan walk on the lake, Kankaro Watana watching, Oga level leg, Gear Pow, leg, Panda with Yay, Panchi America, Panya Dwalabano, Chingatonga Pandon, could you buy a check out, Paku Panda Giro, what they are be Dwalamenting.